Yo, what is up, everybody? Chris here from Big Sports News, X Rotation, however the flip you know my name's interwebs. And today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different for you guys. I just wanted to do a day 2 recap of EWC, as well as a preview of what to expect going into day 3 tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed the intro as always, but yeah. So I'm going to be doing, of course, a recap like I did yesterday for day 1. And then I'm also going to do a preview for tomorrow. Same thing as I did yesterday. But the difference today is I figured that I could just actually look at the box scores to give you guys a little basic insight as we go through each series. So the first series that we have was Team Falcons taking on Project Notorious. This was on B stream, so it ran concurrently with the this is on A stream, I'm sorry, so it ran concurrently with the other matches played, that being Surge versus Heretics, right? So as you guys can see, it was a 3-1 for the Falcons. Big win here on the map 1. They won by 92 points, 62 points. They won the Fringe. They lost the Fringe to Project Notorious. Notorious played this really well behind a 12-7 from Cell, but just really even effort from the Notorious boys. Of course, Falcons won gritty 3-2, and then they won the Hossie by a large margin, so that's how they got it done. Not going to go through everything super in depth. Heretics played Surge. It was a blowout, not really a close game at all. Map 1 was really close, 6 points, but as you guys can see, 2 and 3, there was a big departure. So 2-0 so far in the predictions, but then Faze played Movie Star Koi on the main broadcast on main stage, and of course they got it done 3-1. Super close series, super fun one. If you guys missed the highlights, they will be on the channel at time of you watching, so be sure to go same place to just check those out. But yeah, 14-point HP. Of course, S&D went the way of Koi. They really surprised everyone here. They looked good. And then in the gridlock, this was an overtime thriller, so be sure to watch that one. And the Sake, 45-point game. So really couldn't have been a closer series, to be honest. It could have, but it was very entertaining. And Simp broke the record for damage and kills in a series, I think. So yeah, he set 2 records with only 4 maps. So yeah, that's that series. Sorry, my phone was just going off. The Pit took down the Carolina Royal Ravens. This was a really unexpected one for me. I'll have to go back and thoroughly watch the VOD. I'm actually still clipping the series right now because I'm behind on the B stream stuff. But yeah, so 20-point hardpoint and Scar. But the insane thing is Nox dropped 50 kills for the L. So there's something very wrong with the way that Carolina was playing. If you have Trakes dropping 35 along with Lurks, Exceed dropping 33, Nox dropping 50, and you guys still lose, right? So the Pit took map 2. These are the guys who qualified through the last chance qualifier, of course, to get to Paris. So they were the last train to Paris. No Diddy. 5-3 on the Scar Overload for the Ravens, where they kind of brought it back a little bit. Then they took it back on the Frequency, and they evened it out. But the Pit was able to take it in the game 5 behind a strong performance from Lens and Mythics. Mythics is the one who sent them home. I did see the end of that because they showed it on the main broadcast. So really insane series. We had a Challengers team sending home a pro team once again, second time this year. This time it was not who you would expect, right? You'd expect to be these guys who got taken down by C9, who you guys can see I thought would beat OMiT. I also thought Gentlemates would take down the G2 side. So let's look at that first, actually. G2 gave them a vicious case of the beats. 3-0. Beans got up. He was doing his trademark, can't hear you. All his emotes. Well-deserved, right? Beans had a great series. I mean, 1.12, 64 and 57. It was really an Envoy takeover series. He got the interview, of course. 73 and 67 from the Dark Prince. And yeah, I mean, everybody on the G2 side looked phenomenal. Conversely, Gentlemates, I mean, what I've been saying about Gentlemates all year with Ghosty just consistently being inconsistent. Rears its ugly head once again. Ghosty, I mean, map 1, -5. Map 3, he went even. And Sib, -12. But the thing is, Sib's going to have bad series sometimes. But Dan, in terms of kills, he has a lot of bad series. That's why I feel like this team consistently misses the mark. Right? So going back to the OMiT versus Cloud9 series, this is a really interesting one. I haven't clipped this or watched it back yet, so I don't have a lot of specific insight to offer. I can only glean from the box score right now. I'll have more specific insight when I do my full recap on Monday of next week or Tuesday. I take rest days after events usually. But as you guys can see, OMiT, they just got belted all the way through in the series. I mean, they lost by close to 100 points in the opening hard point. 88 points, 88 seconds is a lot, right? They lost by 4 rounds in S&D, which is a really big cushion. They dominated the overload 3-1, and then they lost a 22-second hard point in the gritty map 4. So really close map 4, but map 1 they got smoked, map 2 they got smoked, map 3 they won, map 4 they were competitive. So yeah, Cloud9 got a rare C9 win, and it looks good. Speaking of a win, the 100 Thieves side got a big, massive word to Tyler Ninja Blevins win over the Green Wall. They took it down like a wrecking ball, you know, all the cliches. And yeah, I mean, they looked really good here. As you guys can see, Ernie, 102 kills, 96 deaths, Avizi, 2 easy, 4 Avizi, not to be cheesy, 93, 92. And yeah, it was a great series. If you guys missed this one, be sure to go watch the highlights. They're on the page if you're watching this video. So super fun map 1, 23 points, 3-round S&D, 1-round overload. I'm sorry, 1 score overload, 11-point den, and a 3-round S&D. So in total, 14, 15, 18, and what is this? 23, 18, and 23 is 41. So 41-point differential between all 5 maps in the series. That's pretty insane. 41-point difference across hardpoint, S&D, and overload is unreal. So this is probably the closest series of the year. And yeah, if you guys missed it, go check it out. You won't be disappointed if you check it out. I promise you, it's not one of those things where I'm like, oh, go check out my video, guys. I want a few views. I'll probably get like 10 views on the show. I might get like none. Like, I don't give a fuck if anyone views it or not. I'm going to keep feeding my library. But yeah, I recommend that one for sure. Speaking of things that I recommend for sure, I recommend that Boston Breach for sure disbands and fucking leaves the CDL. Please, I'm begging at this point. I mean, 3-0'd by Team War, Flames, Icons, Dimensions, and Zivik. These guys were absolutely frying. I've been hearing about Dimensions, Icons, and Zivik all year long, to be fair, but beating a pro team is, in everyone's minds, unacceptable, right? These guys should not be waxing the Boston Breach in anyone's mind. I mean, 65% of people were backing Team War, so I don't know, man. Very interesting. We'll see how things go for War tomorrow in the bracket because they have a decider matchup against a pretty difficult opponent, but more on that in a second. So, yeah, I mean, 3-0 for Team War. They're the real deal. Obviously, you guys can see Icons was plus 13. Dimensions is right there with them, plus 12. And Zivik was plus 9. So they fried. I mean, yeah, Team War just looks like the real deal. Maybe they should be picked up if Boston Breach stays in the CDL. And that whole team should just be given that spot, right? So speaking of teams that might earn a spot in the CDL, we have Project Notorious, the team that ironically made me scrap the last recording because I could not remember who the 4th was. And it's one of my favorite players in the CDL era, O'Jonald, one of my goats. I love Johnny. Big Vegas Legion fan. If you know, he's commonly referred to as Jonald by Pred. So that's the nickname that's pretty much stuck for a lot of us here. Yeah, I mean, and speaking of sticking, I hope this team sticks because they were given belt to ass, right? Looking at it, Cammy, sensitivity training Cammy was back 71 and 67, 72 and 65 for a man who was sat on the Miami Heretics bench, as well as the Ravens bench for a while. Eric Boom, Snoopy 67 and 68, and then Johnny plus 19, 1.29 KD. Absolutely phenomenal series out of Johnny. And on the Vancouver Surge side, only player to go even was Mamba. Everybody else went negative. Nero, big thirsty, left us all a little thirsty for some more, you know, great Nero performances, but season's over. It's time for the off season, and maybe Big Thirsty will thirst his way onto a roster spot for the 2026 season. But as it stands, I feel like he's going to have to get it out the mud in challengers. So speaking of people who might have to get it out the mud in challengers, Vine Boom Sound. No, all jokes aside, Miami Heretics, they played pretty tight against the Falcons. Falcons just looked like a better and more polished team where it mattered. And that was really the difference maker in my mind. I mean, Heretics, they just looked like they didn't have what it takes to keep up with these guys. consistently. In the map one, they got very close to winning, but it just didn't feel like their rotations and their strategies were comparable to the level that Falcons were playing at. So I have a lot of faith in this Falcons team going forward. Everything that I've seen from the way that they play, their situationals, their breaks, and everything, they passed the eye test for me. I mean, Miami definitely looked very, very good in their lone matchup against Surge, but Surge looked terrible, so who knows how much we should really read into that. On the other side, I think Falcons, I think they're the real deal. I mean, they got top 3 at champs. They haven't lost a step since. You would have to just say that they look to be the real deal at this point, right? I mean, Luca's plus 24, Cell's plus 25, Kiz is plus 10, X is minus 7, but it's negligible when everybody else is literally plus, what, 59 at that point? I mean, yeah, I mean, the whole team is plus 52. Like, it's really okay. So, yeah, I mean, Falcons look good. But let's get into tomorrow's matches. Here's all the matches from today. You can see why I'm going to be busy for the rest of the evening, presumably, because I've uploaded at time of recording this series, but I have a lot of them clipped. I have to finish the rest of them. It's a mess. Anyways, if you guys appreciate what I'm doing here, please be sure to go check out some highlights and leave some likes, comments, all types of engagements, help channel get boosted and help me to get partnered eventually. But yeah, back to brass tacks. Let's get into tomorrow's matches. We have Movie Star Koi taking on Cloud9 to open things off and then open things up. Not really a lot to read into here. Cloud9 looks pretty good, obviously taking down OMiT, but it's OMiT. I'm going to omit Cloud9 from the bracket. I think Movie Star Koi, like I said in yesterday's video, I think that no matter who they played, whether it was going to be the Pit or Cloud9, I thought they would come through. Team Heretics taking on Team War. I feel like Heretics were very thoroughly tested against the Falcons, and they looked good enough to be a team like Team War. Team War with Flames, Dimensions, Icon, and Zivik look very good, it has to be said. Obviously, they just sent a pro team home earlier today, but it was not a high caliber pro team, we will say, right? Then in our next matchup, we will have the Gentlemates taking on the Pit. I think it's a pretty clear-cut win for the Gentlemates. I think it's going to be a really, really scrappy series. This one might go 5, honestly. I think Gentlemates will probably be taken to the brink, even within the maps that they win. If they win all these maps and they win the series, the Pit could win the series, let's be honest. Harry, Mythics, F. and Lynn's, I'm sorry, Lucifer, not Harry. They look really good right now, and I feel like they could definitely make a good run. I feel like they could qualify and make a good run, so I think mates have to watch themselves, but I have them winning in my mind. Speaking of how I have things going in my mind, I have OpTic Gaming toppling Project Notorious, even though Project Notorious has one of my favorite players, Johnny, and I like those guys, Cammy, Snoop, and Eric Boom. I want them to all have success. I do feel like the Green Wall, especially coming off of a very, very tight loss to LA Thieves, where they looked kind of frantic and not themselves in a lot of key moments. And Hook definitely had a really bad day. He had to have a PC swap. He dropped 9 kills in the first map. Uncharacteristic day for the Green Wall. I feel like against a team like Project Notorious, that'll be the get back that they need. It'll give them a little chance to regain, catch their breath, and regain footing going into the bracket where it's decidedly going to be single limb, right? So yeah, that'll just about wrap it up for me. Hope you guys have a great morning, noon, or night, wherever you may be on this beautiful planet, and I'll catch you guys on the next video, which will be a preview. Well, the highlights from these 4 matches, and then the subsequent video will be a preview of what to expect going into, of course, day number 4 of EWC, as well as what happened during day number 3. So I'll see you guys there. Once again, this is Chris from Fake Sports News and Expectation Help of the flipping millions and webs. And once again, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you have a great morning, noon, or night, like I always say. And yeah, see you there. Peace.